This is Matt from Theater and Stream, and this is a Minisode. As I record this, we're a little over a week away from the Christmas holiday, and it's got me thinking, I really haven't been watching Christmas movies. I haven't been taking advantage of that Christmas feeling while it's still in the air, before the decorations come down, before it gets oppressively cold outside, and before we enter the truly depressing part of winter in January. The problem to me is, what Christmas movie do you watch in 2023 that's not the same old recommendations that you get year after year after year? A Christmas Story, The Santa Claus, Gremlins, It's a Wonderful Life, Black Christmas, Christmas Vacation, Home Alone. It's always the same movies from the same websites, the same top 10 lists, farming your clicks for ad revenue. When was even the last time that a film entered the larger Christmas movie canon? Actually had enough staying power to last more than a year in the public consciousness. I really want to say that it was 2003's Elf, but if you can think of anything more recent, let me know in the comments, but I just can't think of anything. So basically the whole idea behind this minisode was for me to come up with 5 not so obvious Christmas movie picks. So I've dug deep, and I've hopefully pulled out some winners for you. My number 1 pick is 2012's The Hunt, directed by Thomas Vinterberg. This one's available to stream now on Amazon Prime, on Roku, on Tubi, and on Pluto TV. And I remember seeing this one originally when it came out. It really floored me. This movie is basically about a kindergarten teacher who becomes the target of basically a campaign of mass hysteria after an accusation is leveled against him. And this movie, it's all about standing firm in your convictions and your beliefs, and it's also a testament to how fast misinformation can spread, especially in the small Danish village that the movie is set in. And this is sort of where the Christmas aspect comes in. In any other movie, this tiny Danish hamlet of a town, it would be a snowy, idealized winter wonderland. The one time of the year the community comes together for church services and outdoor holiday markets. But in this film, it really only highlights how easily fractured these societal bonds are. And it's definitely not the most joyous of Christmas films, but it has a killer ending that'll leave you feeling very, very vindicated. Number 2 is 2011's Hugo, directed by Martin Scorsese. This one's available to stream now on Amazon Prime and Paramount Plus. And what I remember about this movie is, after a very long production cycle and lots of hype, this was Scorsese's first children's movie and his big experiment with 3D technology. And then, as soon as it came, it was quickly forgotten. And when you watch it in 2023, it no longer has the 3D, but it is still very much worth watching. And the other thing this film doesn't have is actually an explicit connection to the holiday season. Hugo is about a boy in the 1930s Paris. He lives in a train station, and he basically becomes involved in a mystery surrounding his late father's work with automatons. Now, where The Hunt, the last movie that I talked about, will have you questioning your interactions with other human beings, Hugo is going to have you craving it, because Hugo uses the metaphor of machinery to basically remind us not to be another cog in the machine, not to live lives that are too mechanized. Every once in a while, you just got to break free from your cycle. You've got to seek out genuine human connectedness. And this is really especially true around Christmas time, as people reach out to their family and their friends to celebrate. What's even more interesting is that when this came out, smartphones and social media were barely a thing. And if anything, its themes, I should say, have become more prescient as we choose to do more and more of our human-to-human interaction with a screen as the middleman between us. Number 3 is Day of the Beast, the 1995 movie directed by Alex de la Iglesia. This is free to stream on Tubi, on Pluto TV, and on Freevee. This one's for all my horror lovers out there. If you're like me, you've been watching HBO Europe's horror series 30 Coins, and my admiration for that series had me delving into the past of its showrunner. And that brings me to this film, The Day of the Beast. This is a Spanish horror comedy that is absolutely steeped in Christmas. It takes place on Christmas Eve. This one's all about a priest's attempt to avert the birth of the Antichrist through pretty much any means necessary. We definitely do get horror movies in the US sometimes, but they're more like of the slasher fare or movies that star former wrestlers as Santa Claus. And this one is truly gross, it's funny, it is demented, and it takes on a lot of Christmas iconography. It's pretty blasphemous if you like that sort of thing. If you've ever walked or driven by one of those molded plastic manger scenes outside of a church and you've had a strange, intrusive thought to want to take a baseball bat to it, then this is going to be the movie for you. Number 4 is 2021's The Green Knight, directed by David Lowery. This one is available to stream now on Amazon Prime. This is definitely my most recent pick on the list, and I'm sure that many of you watching this saw it when it came out. But did you ever really think of it as a Christmas movie? I don't think most people who saw it even registered that the beginning of this movie takes place on Christmas Eve, and then it jumps forward in time almost a year, and the majority of the film takes place in the days leading up to the next Christmas. This one is adopted from the 14th century poem Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, and you can most certainly look at it as a Christmas parable. It's about conducting yourself with integrity and bravery. And I think even now there is a famous bit of trivia that David Lowery told Ralph Ineson, the actor that plays the Green Knight, to portray himself as Santa Claus. So there you go. Number 5 is 1993's Falling Down. This one's directed by Joel Schumacher. It is available for rental on many digital storefronts now. And this is probably my biggest stretch for a Christmas film. In fact, Falling Down has absolutely nothing to do with the holiday season, but let's just say that you're somebody who thinks Christmas has gotten a bit too commercialized. Let's just say you think that the corporate world has taken your religious holiday about the birth of your Savior and turned it into a money-making scheme. And let's just say that every time you see that dumb commercial about the grandma and granddaughter crying over their mutual love of Toyota pickups, it makes you wince at the blatant emotional manipulation. Well, I've got the movie for you. This is Falling Down, starring Michael Douglas. This is a movie about a fired engineer who embarks on a violent rampage through LA. As he does so, he makes many observations and monologues about consumerism, the economy, poverty, and every other perceived injustice in 1990s America. What really makes Falling Down fascinating is that a lot of the problems presented by it have seemingly only gotten worse. So, to me, when you're watching Falling Down during the Christmas season, I would look at it as sort of a grounding tool. You know, that shot in the arm that you need to remind yourself that Christmas is one day out of the year and the other 364 days of the year are spent in the very, very real world of this 1993 Joel Schumacher classic. But anyway, that's it for me this week. I'm going to end this video actually by asking you what your favorite Christmas movie is that people don't generally consider this time of the year. Let me know in the comments. You know, I know this is something that a lot of YouTubers say flippantly, and then they just don't even bother to go look in their comments. They just are basically trying to farm engagement on their videos, but I really mean it. Chuck and I, we always try and respond to every single comment that we get, so please do let us know. Next Monday is going to be Christmas Day, actually. And Chuck and I are going to be back with a regular podcast episode where we will review Maestro. Thanks for watching.